Thank you so much, Toivo. Thank you for having me.
Yeah.
Hustlepreneur really came from a combination of a hustler and entrepreneur.
Yeah.
Because a friend of mine once said, Moses, you are like a Nigerian.
Yeah.
Anything you want, I go get for you. So when people ask you, what business do you do? I say, anything that brings in money.
Yeah.
I'm there.
Yeah.
You know, so, you're a hustler and an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
So basically just that one doesn't confine yourself to one sector, one trade. You know, we chase until we find a winning formula.
Yeah, that's I like that approach.
Yeah.
Because there are guys who say, I do a car wash.
Yeah.
And even when the municipality says, let's cut down on the water usage,
Yes.
we are just stuck to car wash. So I like the element of branching out
Yeah.
into other things.
Mm-hmm.
I've known you for many years as a radio man. You no longer do radio. Did you grow tired of the concept, or did you just want to expand your horizons into something else?
Yeah, I think they say one reached the ceiling, because I think I started radio very, very early. We started at the time when it was really not fashionable. I was inspired by the late John Keddy and Levely Abrahams, Tara Shanika, people we used to listen to and admire, his skits, and say, Ish, one day maybe I would like to do that. So when the opportunity presented itself, I think it came quite early, and one got to love radio. But then you also realize that that's all there is, for example, Also when I branched out to TV, I think that expanded one's horizon, because then I was just headhunted, taken from radio by Bolly to say, we need a show on TV, and it's almost similar to what you're doing on radio. So then that's when you realize there's more to this thing, there's more to that thing. Then ended up in trying business, because when you do radio, actually business comes naturally. Because you get to MC at events, you get to do marketing, reading adverts, and you're like, this company, get to know about the company, go there. You see, they're making money from ordering. That's when we now started with wholesaling, tried the hand of that. That was way early before the Order With Me concept came, so. But I think they say radio, you never really grow out of it, but also I appreciate the fact that our time really was really the best time.
Yeah.
It was the best time, because we didn't have the luxury that they have now, or what they currently here. For you to really sound not smart per se on radio, you had to research.
Yeah.
We didn't have the luxury of the smartphone and the internet at the time. We didn't have all this. You have to buy the drum magazine to read what's happening entertainment-wise, especially in South Africa. South Africa had a lot of influence at the time. And even our music was really also very minimal. It was just really the NBC that would play a lot of the local, so. And I'm privileged to say I was one of the guys that bridged from the old school to the new school, from the Russia Hammers, the late Jackson Koya, from William Bwende to now to the Bolly when he started, and Pablo, the late Pablo, when Josie came on the scene. I had the first ever commercial radio show actually that played local music. Capital K, Taramate, and the others. So yeah, so one really does, you reach a level where you feel like, I think I've achieved a bit what I've done. We have groomed also others that came after us, people that later went to do very well, that we brought in. So I felt like, why not try something else?
Yeah. So will we ever hear DJ Mo on Radio Airways again, or that ship has sailed now?
That radio bug has been biting for some time. Last year I should have already started with a radio show on weekends, but then I realized that it was a bit too early to commit, because as I said, as a hustlepreneur, weekend is when you make money or there's opportunity. Here the problem with radio, especially commercial, is that it's live. You have to be in the studio. So I felt, okay, if one maybe can pre-produce, pre-package, one is looking into that. Definitely that return will come if one agrees with where you're able to record the show and does, just play it wherever you are. But the problem that, again, with advertisers and people and the callers, they want to call in, or they want to have a comment, they want to say something. People want to SMS.
That interaction is
the
important.
interaction, they want the interaction, you know. So that is definitely something that I'm really looking into, but not very, very immediate. But yes, I did think about it. I was going to be on air last year, because I felt also, you know, when you've been in radio and you see, not to say the quality have dropped per se, but some certain genre is neglected. I think the way local music is presented is such that we tend to forget the guys who have pioneered the trade. Most of your presenters now want to play the latest song, as opposed to tracing back and educating the listeners on the pioneers. And, you know, so I felt like, why not have a show that plays the earlier music and bring these people, make them relevant again, as opposed to now just forgetting the guys who paved the way. You know, so that's the kind of show that I wanted to do, to trace back where $6 is, where Leg Ghetto is, where is all Capital K that I mentioned. You know, we tend to just want to play the latest song. We're forgetting these guys are still around. And if the radio doesn't promote them, play them, they lose relevance. And then the younger generation, they feel like, who is that? You know? But it is the duty of a radio presenter and the DJ to actually keep a genre relevant or an artist relevant. But then again, there's also politics that have crept in. It's about who you know, which label you connected to, is who you hang around with, that you play their music. But that's universal. But I still feel I'm duty bound to preserve what we have pioneered at the time when we started.
First of all, we should understand that this program, which is a postgraduate diploma in TVET management, is designed in such a way that is aligned to the national development priority. What are these priorities? Number one, we talk of job creation. We are talking of economic growth. We are talking of human capital development. And we are talking of alleviation of poverty and hunger. That one on its own, it makes this program very important to NUST as an institution of higher learning in such a way that it demonstrates NUST's responsiveness to national development priorities. That makes it more crucial and more significant to NUST. Secondly, it should be noted that and understood that this is the first of its kind qualification in Namibia. This means that by doing or developing that kind of program, it positions the institution reputation. This means that it demonstrates that NUST as an institution of higher learning is there to make sure that it responds, it contributes to the national development. Then apart from the university itself, one should understand that this program is very, very important to TVET as a sector. Why? Number one, this program tries to professionalize the leadership in TVET. What do I mean by that? It means that as a university, through this qualification, through this program, we are sending a message out there to say any TVET manager must acquire a specialized management qualification in TVET in order to effectively and efficiently run TVET institution. Not only that, this program is very important to TVET sector in such a way that it supports lifelong learning. Unlike other programs where maybe you can go for four-year courses, 4-year duration, this one is tailor-made in such a way that the graduates are able to complete it in 1 year while they are still in their workplace, because most of the TVET managers are fully employed, meaning that they will not be able to register on a full-time basis, but they can do it on part-time basis. And that's main item why this program is very important to NAS as an institution as well as to the TVET sector.
Dr. Aluvi, take us a step back for those of us who are not so familiar. What does TVET management entail, and why is it so important that there's strong leadership and management capacity in that specific sphere?
Thank you so much. It's very important for one to understand that when we talk of management and leadership in TVET, it's not just about planning. It's not just about organizing and leading. There is more beyond that. First of all, one should understand that when we talk of management in TVET, it's about you engaging and understanding the community in which TVET institutions are found or are located. It's about you as a manager engaging and interacting with the community and the industry to understand what are the challenges in that particular community. Because TVET institutions are there to address, to answer, and provide solution to societal issues. What are these societal issues? We talk of poverty, we talk of hunger, we talk of creation of employment.
Yes.
Now, once as a manager, once you engage and you do research, now then you step back, you go to the drawing board where you have to do planning. When you do planning, it means that as a TVET manager, you must be in a position that to design and implement the relevant curriculum, a curriculum that addresses societal needs and societal challenges. As a TVET manager, you must set the goals and you must align TVET programs with the national TVET policy, in this case, the 2021 policy. Then after you plan, we now move to organizing. This has to do with allocation of resources, being human resources. As a TVET manager, you must hire wisely, hire the qualified individual, dedicated individual who have the knowledge of the curriculum, that they're able to implement it, effectively.
Yes.
Apart from that, also financial allocation. It's very, very difficult to run a TVET institution because most of the courses that are offered there are practicals.
Yes.
This means that you need sophisticated machineries, equipment, and you need to spend money, and we need to plan, in a such a way that we utilize the little that we have.
Yes.
Apart from organizing, then you move in now to the next one, which is leading. Management in TVET institution is about motivating. It's only when you have motivated staff members that you'll be able to emerge victorious. Not only motivating staff members, motivate also students, or what we call trainees. Remember, these students, when they come to TVET institution, they are being indoctrinated to believe that TVET is for those students that could not meet the requirement to go to university, and that's why they end up in what?
Yes.
In TVET institution. It's now the role of the TVET manager to ensure that you indoctrinate those students to believe that TVET is not for failure.
Yes.
TVET is where money lies.
Yes.
TVET is a sector that grows the country's economy. It's TVET that provides job opportunity. It's TVET that provides, contribute to food security.
Yes.
And as a manager, it's very important that we have the skills on how to do that. And we are saying, if through this postgraduate diploma and QF level 8, that will be able to mold you, to equip you with the skills that will be able to handle leadership and management in TVET. Now, apart from that, unlike other institutions, for example, talk of schools and so on, TVET institution, you need to collaborate. You need to partner up with the industry. You need to reach out to your sponsor, to look for sponsors, so that at the end you make it. Otherwise, if you are there, you in the corner of your office and so on, you will not make it.
Yes.
But remember also, we are saying, or Richard taught us to say, even if you have the state of the art infrastructure,
Yes.
if the managers are not equipped with right skills, it's just as good as you don't have those state of the art infrastructure. That's why we are saying it's a special area on its own.
Yes.
And we are saying through this program, we want to equip our TVET managers with specialized skills. Skills in terms of leadership, skills in terms of quality assurance, skills that help them, to run the finances of the institution so that at the end they emerge victorious. That's why I always tell people to say, being a TVET manager is not an easy thing.
Yes.
You need to go extra mile. You need to do proper research to find out what that the institution must address.
Yes.
And what that the institution must provide on the table in order to improve the living standard of those people around the institution and the country at large.
Dr. Aluve, I really enjoy your passion. Please tell us, at what level is this qualification offered, and when do you expect to have your first intake of students or learners?
All right, thank you so much for the question. The postgraduate diploma in TVET management at NAST is offered at NQF level 8. And this means that this is a postgrad, and it's a 1-year course.
Okay.
And we recently got the accreditation toward the end of 2025, and the application, they are open. The due date is the 4th of February, 2026. It means that's tomorrow, and that's the reason why I'm urging for the students to apply, for those TVET managers and those that are aspiring to become managers in a TVET environment to apply for this very important program.
Very good. Now, this new program replaces a previous program that was NQF level 6.
It's remarkable what was going behind the scenes. And a lot of it, because it's not in the Constitution, it was not meant to be in the Constitution. It's really the facilitation of that process, where then chairperson of the assembly would actually consult most of the time individually with members of the Constituent Assembly that he thought were key to resolving disputes. For instance, he would speak very often with Derek March. He will speak very often with Kosi Pretorius. He will speak often with people like Jan de Vet, just to gauge their moods on a particular subject, so that once the matter is actually brought for discussion, then he would have known where they stood, and then that made a lot of discussions a lot easier. So there were a lot of those, but there were also people like Vekuru Koro, who was legally trained, and he was key, especially when they're discussing issues around fundamental rights and freedoms. He came from a liberal background, so he was very instrumental in some of the clauses that are in the Constitution today.
Yeah. One thing that I'm only remembering now, I've never really inquired about this or even looked it up. That time, the government of Namibia didn't exist, because you could have said, look, Geingob was put there, he was delegated by the president, for example. But there was not even a president at the time. President Nyoma only became president after the fact. So these appointments and deployment of people like Bendokeni Itana and many others, how did it come about?
Once SWAPO knew what the numbers were that were going to represent the party in the Constituent Assembly, obviously the Politburo Central Committee would have met to determine who was going to play what role. You recall at some point during the first sitting of the Constituent Assembly, Nico Bessenger actually nominated President, or he wasn't president then, Sem Nyoma, to be the chairperson. Then obviously because what was decided in the Central Committee was different from the proposal. So obviously, it was just a slip of the tongue. Then he corrected himself that he nominated Hage Geingob. So that's how he got to be nominated there. Obviously, they have to take people. There were 21 members in total. I'm talking about the committee of 21 now, because the primary discussions took place at the level of the committee, group of 21. Then whatever the substantive agreements were, then they would take that to the plenary, the Constituent Assembly itself. So each party, obviously, they have to select their best brains who had some kind of knowledge on making the Constitution. Obviously, we've never drafted the Constitution before, but I think the knowledge, a lot of them they were legally qualified. You had Pendukeni Tana, you had Ngarikoteke Chiriange, you had Hatmot Ruppel, who had a legal background. So they were key. Then on the political side, you had the people like Theoben Goderab, you had the Hidipa Mtenya, you had Hage Geingob himself. Then you had also internal leadership of SWAPO. That were Nico Bessenger, who were part of the process. So on the opposition side, they did the same. The committee was proportionally representative. So depending on what percentage you got, that's almost the number of people that will go to the committee. So FCN was there, NNF with Rukoro. First with FCN it was Hans Derhardt. Then he was replaced by Mrumba Kerina. So obviously, I think my assumption is that they were selected on the basis of their contribution towards the construction of the state.
I see. And just to be clear, these deliberations took place after the election, or was it before?
The result was announced on the 14th of November. It was already triggered in the regulations to say the first sitting will be 7 days after the announcement of the results. That is why the first meeting took place on the 21st of November. There were not too many discussions there, but really just to set the framework upon which negotiations were going to take place. Then subsequent meetings then took place between the 21st of November and the 8th of February. That is what constitutes now 80-day miracle negotiations. Because on the 9th, it was a day upon which there were no discussions really, but only to adopt the Constitution. As you know, it was adopted unanimously. Doesn't mean that people disagreed, but everyone else figured this is the best outcome that could come out of the drafting committee.
Yeah, and I suppose 21 March, which was declared then as Independence Day, to this day, was a result of that, to say now we have this solid document, we can now go on and usher ourselves into a statehood of some sort. You will be interested to know that when 21 March was set as a date of independence, the Constitution was not yet adopted. Really?
That was, it took place somewhere around the 20th of January when that proposal came. Oh, okay. It came from SWAPO through Theoben Goderab. Is the one that proposed formally the date of independence. There were two reasons. One, we knew that the mandate of UNTAG was ending on 1st or 31st of March. That means that unless the mission is extended, then independence cannot take place beyond that date. So that's why 21 March fit within the plans that were there. And secondly, President Geingob will say there was a lot of eagerness not to be continued paid by apartheid South Africa. Remember, once they took seats as members of the Constituent Assembly, they were being paid by the previous regime, and they didn't want to be controlled, and also there were a lot of security issues. So it was critical to have the date sooner rather than later. But obviously, by around the 20th of January, there was already clear indication where the Constitution, the final document, was going to be leading. So they could easily make that commitment with a lot of certainty because, first of all, there was a lot of goodwill from other parties as well that were willing to join hands with SWAPO to adopt the Constitution and then eventually gain independence.